everybody, it's Kenny K again. Oh, thanks for the new subscriber. There are two subscribers. I only know the name from one, called Justin. Justin, thank you, my friend. You're a big help for my little mini horror community to have fun. Again, it's free to subscribe. I'm not asking a penny. It's just for fucking fun. So subscribe if you want to. I'm gonna talk about the movie Mortuary from 1982. Now this movie gets a 5.1. It gets a I'm willing to give it a 5. The reason being, it's boring. So the movie starts out with a guy. Okay, it's a spoiler review. Okay, the movie is about a guy sitting on a pool, smoking a cigarette, and some shadowy figure comes, not with a baseball bat, knocks him on the back, then knocks him unconscious in the swimming pool. He drowns. His daughter Christine finds him, and after that, you've got mainly Scooby-Doo. They're trying to investigate themselves. It was Christopher George, Linda Day George, and for some reason, Christopher George doesn't have a big role in it, but Linda Day, she has a good role in this. Grounded, grieving mother with a troubled daughter, and again, she's doing great. The bastards! That scene of pieces, gotta forget about her. She's a great actress. I told that in The Day of the Animals and Grizzly with Christopher George. He's great. These are great actors. And she's doing a comeback. She announced a comeback in 2022, apparently. Now, Christopher George, the sad part about this movie, it's his last movie. In 1984, he died during a dinner at his house with Linda Day. He was having chest pains, and they got with an MI straight to the hospital. 3 hours later, he's pronounced dead, heart attack. But he already, 5 years before that, he already had a open heart surgery, and they said to him, don't smoke, don't eat shit, don't drink. And what does he do? He eats shit, he smokes like these big Cuban cigars, and he likes his liquor. So there you go. Okay, so people with the chances, genetically maybe in their family, watch the fuck out, because that's not a laughing matter. Now, it's his last movie, but it's the first feature-length film of Bill Paxton. He wanted the role of Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker, a slasher movie from 80 or 81, but they wanted the nephew, who's with the crazy aunt. She's the killer in that movie. They wanted a more experienced actor. I didn't know the brown-headed prick. I saw his IMDb, saw his resume, and I thought, what the fuck are those movies? Again, he got a role in it as a bully, a few scenes. That's it. Here he plays a weird student, like the ugly duck in the pond, in the school. Because he's also an embalmer, on embalming dead people. He works for his father, who runs a funeral parlor, and he embalms people too. But the movie then begins with this minivan with a guy named Greg in it, a taller guy, blonde guy, and a small guy, I think his name was Jim. They go to steal tires in this hangar of what's the name of this Christopher George, Hank Andrews, Paul Andrews, and they find out that Christopher George, Hank Andrews, is having this seance with all these women, and Greg notices that it's Christine's mom who's doing it too. So he stays and watch while Jim, I think his name is Jim, don't scoff me if I'm wrong, he's basically the smaller guy. He goes for his tires, and his tires were gone where he put them. Oh, he sees his tires, then he rolls his tires, but there's this coffin with a hand sticking out. He's opening the hand, and he says, Mrs. Andrews. She looks like an embalmed person. And then we see the killer. Now, shit you not, from a distance, it looked like Pazuzu, the devil that inhabited Regan McNeil in The Exorcist, Linda Blair. You know, with a white face, blackness eyes, big eyes. He looked like that. He had a black cloak, and he sticks him with this embalming needle, this probe with a tube on it, and he sticks it through his body. Now, normally there shouldn't be blood coming out of the tube, but there's blood coming out of the tube. Normally you should just stick it in halfway and then come the blood. Okay, nitpick. Got a cool kill. It's nothing we've seen before, but a good kill. Then Greg sees that his van is getting stolen. He thinks Jim did it, and he goes to the police station and this and that. And apparently, police sheriff Duncan is there with Hank Andrews, and they're buddies. So he says, "You and that little punk did a lot of damage in the past. You're pieces of shit. I don't trust you like I trust my left nut." And it's bad, in bad shape. I mean, he's really giving it hard on the guy, and he's saying that Hank Andrews was holding a seance with only women, and he laughs, and the boy can lie too. And eventually the chief throws the keys to him because he said, and watch out for that small prick because his parents are in extreme mode. Find him, or you hear from me, okay? He goes away. Now apparently his parents own a flower store, and they make a wreath for a grave, and he has to go back to the funeral parlor shop where Hank Andrews works. He goes there, he's seeing him, put it next to it, put it there, I'm coming. He gives the pen to this is a cool shot. He gives the pen to Hank Andrews, Christopher George, and he takes the pen, gives the pen back, holds the pen, and he has to take off the top of the pen so he can write. He's laughing at him, and he says, "If I catch you one more time in my hangar or in my parlor, you'll be in one of these cases." Correct? Okay? And that was so cool how he said that. He said, yeah, right, no problem. The big mouth in the sheriff's office was like this big. The thing with the guy is, he's a good actor, Greg, but the guy has this long, and he walks like this. his body back, and he has this really tight jeans on. His shirt is like too short, and you see his fucking bulge, a big ass bulge on his jeans. I think he has a giant schlong in there. And later in the movie, it comes to play. So the um, the mom, Linda Day George, she's constantly trying to, because her daughter has this catatonic sleepwalking state of mind, and she's sleepwalking, and she saw a killer, the killer with the probing knife, and he's saying, "I want you," and she's running away from him, and Linda Day George says, "Again, one of your illusions," and then the next stage, and she's yelling, "You want to put me in an institution, that's what you want to get rid of me." And then she goes away, and she says, "Oh, on your date? Dad only died a month ago, and you're already on a date, you slut." And then she slaps the fuck out of her. I would have slapped her twice, maybe 4 times. "Shut up, bitch." I mean, the fact is that, one, it's my life. Two, you're my daughter, so listen until you're under my roof. And three, you're obviously a troubled child. So, I mean, the boyfriend arrives, and he's like, "She wants to put me away." And then she asks to the boyfriend, "What's up?" He says, "Jim, he stole my van, but I got it back." "Oh, that's good. Now we can investigate." So now we have, like, the movie's an hour and 30 minutes long. It was like 20 minutes playing into the kill of the dad and the kill of the guy, the small guy, which we think his name is Jim. And then we've got about 50 minutes, 50 minutes of them doing Scooby-Doo. They go to this ice rink where people are skating on music, because that was in the 80s. And you've got these 3 younger people, which I thought, oh, they're gonna be cannon fodder for the killer. No, there's just some people that Greg knows, and one of them says, you know what? Look at the ladies' room above." That's it. What the fuck was that purpose? What was the purpose of those 3 idiots? Okay, so you never hear of them again. You know that Paul has a crush on Christine because they're on a cemetery. He has a bunch of flowers for his mom. He gives Christine or one of the rose with Paul aside. He basically twice bumps against Paul, not seeing him, giving her a rose, giving her a LP from Mozart. He likes Mozart, and Paul says, "I think he has a crush on you." No, he just has a lot of problems since his mom died. It's actually sad, because now you have to see. So they've been explained. She's being like a dog listening to his master all the way. Christine being his master, and then when they're in the house, the lights go out, but he makes a fireplace. It's cozy. He wants to have sex with his girl. He's not a horn dog. He's not this horny. I know he has a big schlong, but the girlfriend kind of wants it too. She undresses, but then she says, "Nah, I don't want that. No, because I have to cope with my problems, and it's probably better we don't see each other for a while. You fucking bitch. You gave him the bluest of the bluest balls with his mega schlong. Is that a thing? That every girl who goes into fucking trouble just wants a timeout, a break? Because in Friends, the sitcom, Ross and Rachel, when Ross was on a break, he fucked someone. And every time he says, "We were on a break," right? Remember that? So, Greg, it's full, you know, your schlong has full option to go do what it wants. Follow the schlong. Follow it like a snake. Now, that night, she again gets that catatonic state. She wanders around, and then you see the killer. He's there on the window, sticking on it, and you can see he's saying, "Let me in. I need to talk to you." She grabs a knife. She's still in catatonic state. "You don't need that. I just want to talk to you." You can see it's a painted on face. It's painted, and you can see it's fucking Bill Paxton. And then eventually she rams the knife through the window. He goes away. The mom comes downstairs. They're having their last, and I'm saying last, good moment. And then I think she sleeps on the ground floor, and she sees a shadowy figure coming, going left to right from her window, left to right. And she looks up, and then the window opens. In America, is this true that they just don't lock shit up? They don't lock shit up. He goes through the door. He starts, and I have to say, this is the goriest death of the entire movie. He starts to stab her in the gut multiple times. You see her face, blood squirting out. You see the out of the tube, blood squirting out. You see him sticking. You see the needle going in. It's already this big of a wound of all the needle stabbings. And meanwhile, the killer is going like this because he's drinking the fucking blood. He likes the blood over him. Yeah, it's pretty disturbing and gory scene that I have to give them. But that was in the 50-minute mark. Okay. Christine comes to check. The killer is behind the door, little cat and mouse. Then he eventually catches her, and he chloroforms her ass just before she can. Apparently, it was a mask, latex, and see, it's Bill Paxton. But you see, it was a painted face from Bill Paxton. They go to the mortuary. She wants to embalm her alive, but she gives her a sedative. You won't feel a thing, so he can marry. Then his dad arrives and is saying, "What did you do? What did you do? We have to get you to a hospital." "No, no!" Stabs his dad. Just a stabbing. Christopher George, dead. And he's like, "Oh, Dad, I didn't want to do that." And then Greg arrives, and he's like, "Oh, you're standing in my way of happiness. You. And he goes back, and he locks him in a room where all these coffins are. He goes to the hangar with the dead mom, that Linda Day George, that Christopher George, and of course, Christine being doped up. And then we see this guy in a tuxedo, Bill Paxton, doing this with his probing needle for Mozart, and you have all the embalmed bodies, including Linda Day George and Christopher George. We also see Josh, the guy who got baseball batted. We see his mom, and we see little Jim. I thought his name was Jim, not the little guy, but he has a painted face now, like a clown. And then in the main coffin you have Cynthia, but she's not embalmed yet. The guy, I have to say, it's a creepy shot. Why? Because they looked so real but awkward real. Their hands were sticking like this, and they're sitting like this, and their eyes were like this. It looked weird. And the only non-body that looked like that, oh shit, sorry, that was his mom. And he said to his mom, "We fooled them, didn't we? We fooled them all." Christopher George, before he said to his son, "We have to go back to the mental hospital," because he said, "You wanted to do that with mom because she was suicidal." No, stab, okay. She's standing there, but she doesn't look. She have two scenes where she looks like an embalmed person. This scene, she looks like not embalmed. He shows Christine. She says, "Look at her wedding dress. It's yours." Then Greg comes in, has an axe. Now he has just a probing needle. He axes the probing needle out of his hand, but he's the most